Okay, so now that you've seen how to set up to start the modeling, let's actually do the fact of modeling. Let's try that. So I'm going to go to the front view. I'll press on F3 to see my character. I'm going to press on G into my keyboard to get rid of the grid. And I'll take the left-hand side and do the same thing. So press on the F3 to see. And after that, G onto seeing the grid. So therefore, there you have all of those aspects. So the first part, as I said to you many times, is just that you have to start with the actual blocks. I'm going to go from the right hand side, zoom in really closely to my subject for now, and I'll use the box and just click and drag to cover the actual foot, make it a little bit of depth, and then right click. I'm done. So I can actually just say character or whatever you want to name him. And mind you that it has to be all into one piece. I'm going to go back to this guy. I'm going to select OK on the left hand side. For now, I'm going to concentrate on the leg. So I'll go back before I put the edit poly. I'm going to go back to the modifier. I'm going to set up this length. Well, this is okay. Sorry, width, and go all. That's okay. That's on the side. Oh, sorry, it's a box. Yeah. So the height. Let's go all the way over here and make it a little bit further. Press on W onto my keyboard to have access to the move tool. Go all the way to the back of the foot. Increase the actual width over here. And I'm going to press the F4 to see my edges of the actual box so that I can see that. Now that I have like the base of it, I'm going to right click on it and convert that to the poly. And there afterwards, I'm going to use this viewport so you can actually see what's going on into the view. Click on that, right click on that, convert to the poly. So make sure that you do use, come on computer, there we go, edit poly. You're probably going to get this screen where you don't have access to all of it, meaning all the subcategories. So if you just take your mouse, move over, it changes to like kind of two double arrows, and you can actually have more real estate. So in this case, I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to go into the front view. And then at this part of the game, you're not looking for high details. You're looking for the actual volume of the character. So therefore, I'm going to go in here and press F4. I'm going to use this one and press F4 so I can actually see all the details. And then I'm going to start to use my hotkeys, which is like if I click onto the subject, this will be the vertex, which is number 1. This is number 2 for the edges. This will be if you want to add details. And then this is the polygon, which is number 4. So I'm going to use number 4 right now. So you see it's activated. I'm going to click onto the top view, and I'm going to right click into either view that I want. Okay. In this case, I want to look at the edges. When you look at your polygons or you're looking at your modeling your character, is that you're looking at certain edges. So as you can see, this would be like the ankle over here. I think this could be like the knee, which is not very evidence of the knee in this case. And then after that, you have the hip, and it keeps on going. So I'm going to start really quickly. I'm going to right click onto that. And for a particular reason, right now, maybe I'll have to go to the old-fashioned way because it seems the computer is really slow. Well, yeah. So usually you would get the extrude. So I'm going to quicker those 4 options. Click onto this, and you want to make sure it's into a group. As you can see now, it's just like, wow, this went really high. And then if you want to reduce that, use the spinners and just say, okay, yeah, I want to just above the ankle, and then press OK. The motto of the modeler is that you always add, if you add details, you must move it. So that's I'm pressing Alt W to see this screen even better. I'll activate the vertices by pressing number 1. I'll select rubber band, always rubber band this guy in order to move stuff. So you see like it moves the entire thing. Otherwise, is that if you happen to select this guy, you move this. And now if I go back to this viewport, as you can see, whoops, I didn't want to do that. So if I go to this viewport and I start to rotate, you can see that, oh, this will look ugly. You always, when you start to model, take time to make sure that everything aligns together and that also everything is really nice lines. So I'm Control Z, my famous love key. So I'm going to go in here. So rubber band, as you saw, and I'm going to move it into the x-axis. Only the x-axis. I want to keep it as flat as I want, as I can. In this case, as I can go closer, you can see. So I'm just looking at those lines, SQL. Yeah, that should be okay. And I'm trying to move it So I'm going to go in here, just move it to this part. And then after that, I'm going to press into 4. It's already activated because that's what I selected. So go and move my mouse. Usually you won't see that. I'll press extrude again. And I'll look at this. It's like, okay, I should have a knee somewhere. And I believe that if I go in here, okay, the knee is just probably above this one. So I'll go like that. And I'll press OK. Model of the modeler. If you add details, move it. So I'm going to go in here, add the details. I'm going to move it again. Press number 4. Reactivate this. Oh, there we go. The memory or the computer's getting faster. So this one, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of the belly, let's say, to look at that. So I'm not looking at too much of the other viewport, but I'm going to go in there right now. Press number 1. And then make it the belly. And this one, I'm not so sure if I want to have, the tail would be perfect. The tail will start from this guy. So let's go into the front view and see how does that look. So you have, if you go, you have a lot of people who did different ways that they use kind of a shaded level of their subject. That's a good use, but as I said, it's up to you if you want to do that. So now it's like, why am I not going all the way to this? This would be like more of adding the details later on, but I can actually move these guys over here. That's no problem. And I'm always checking, this should be okay. Perfect. So now I keep on number 4, and this where it's going to be the hip in this case. So I'm going to build that. So you can get the sense of it. So I'm going to go in and just add some more for the volume. You're looking for the volume really quickly. Okay. Okay, so I think you can see that I started to create the volume of him and just like really reflecting his actual, like if I go in and you can see the tail, and I would have to extrude the actual kind of little spikes, and also I would actually definitely need to kind of reshape the actual tail from what I think it should look like, because I don't have a specific, well, I do have a top view of the actual tail, so I would have to go into here and just reshape it. But this is what you actually do for the first part, is that you start to model and extend and all this kind of stuff. Now, this was one last little feature that I wanted to show you before. It's just that if I go in here and collapse this guy, and I undo this, so as you can see, what I did modeling, I only did one side. That's all I did. Okay, just concentrate onto one side, and that was it. And afterwards, what I've done is I deleted all the polygons facing the outside of that character. So in just where the hips, like if you can see where the hips of his body is over here, I just extruded the little tiny parts over here so that I can actually just use the symmetry where the mirror is. So when you do actually modify, you can go and find that. So you always model one side of the character, and after a little while you combine them together. You can go to the symmetry, modifier, click on this, and this will pop up. And usually like it will, like I did fix this one. I think the first part when I did have, when it first came in, it looked something like this. Okay, so you can actually play with this, like the mirror in the x-axis, so y and z. But as you can see that this is the gizmo, so I think it's going to be in the x-axis for sure. And you can flip it. So what happens if you flip it? So it looks like this. So you see like, oh, it is going the other way. So therefore, definitely not what I want to do. So I'm now going to flip it. Then I'm just going to move the mirror. And then you move it until you see like kind of a snap. It's going to go close and it's going to snap together. Oops. There you go. So now you have one. So you only model on this side, and afterwards you keep on adding stuff, and you can see the view. So how do you do that? It's just like if you go into this symmetry, and if you go to edit poly, you'll see like it's gone. Okay, so you can use it that way if you want to see the actual polygons. I don't see people using this. I just go like that, and then let's say I want to model the actual head. Obviously, in this case, if I would have to model the head, go to number 4, and I'm pretty sure that if I press on 2, looking at that side, that would be the shoulder, and that would be it. So therefore, I'm going to go into extrude to that. The actual head of this character was really fun to build because it's a really kind of a pointy. I think I did it. First part, I didn't do the tail until the end. So that was one that I can see right now, because you'll see, I'll show you. is that if I look at this, this is the narrow neck that he has. And then after that, look at that nice nose that he has with his mouth and everywhere. The mouth is actually underneath. So I'll show you later on the final product, but that's how you do it when you start to modeling. And if you think about all those gaming and all those characters that you see in 3D animation and in a place, that's how they do it. And then they start to build like little details. So one little quick part is that after you've done this, then when you want to add some details, this is where you come back to. If you look at the famous house, the bedroom that we did, so you select all of these guys, the edges, and then you say you add, and remember that if you add details, so therefore it's going to connect, you must move it and make sure that you always try to keep really nice rectangle. Like this one is really stretched out, and I'm going to go in here, I'm going to bump that up really close to this part over here. And then this one, I think I can bring it in now. Yes, I can bring it in. And then if I go to the front view, I'll go into this one over here. And then if I look at this little vertices, in this case, now I can bump it out. And this one also over here, bump it out a little bit. So there's going to be curvature. And then later on, I'll need to add some details more like lengthwise this way. Okay, so that you can keep it. You'll see the end product when I'm going to show you. You'll see all the little polygons. They are pretty same size. Okay, so that's how you do it.